Hi everyone, I'm Miss Lora and welcome back to another Fresh Look Friday. Today's books are all young adult fiction and they're all the first book in a series. So if you love reading series books, if you love long continuous stories, if you like to binge series, these are the books for you. So I have a variety of genres, so hopefully there's something in here that you like. We're going to start with this one. This is called Graceling. So there's, I think, 5 books in this series. There's even a graphic novel adaptation. So if you would rather read a graphic novel, you could check out that version of it. So Graceling is a fantasy series, and our main character is Katza, and she is graced. So being graced in this world means that you have this like superhuman ability. It's not quite a superpower, it's just an enhanced ability. And people that are graced have a distinct physical feature. They have 2 different colored eyes. So you can tell if someone's graced just by looking at them, but it is very rare. Katza's grace is killing. It's something that she is not proud of. She hates it, but she is a killer. She can easily kill people. She has strength and agility far beyond those of the teenage girl that she is. She can take down men 3 times her size quite easily. And Katza is the niece of the king. And this king is taking advantage of Katza and using her for his own power, forcing her to use her grace in areas that she doesn't want to so that he gains more and more power. Enter Prince Po. Po is a prince from a neighboring country, and he is also graced. And he and Katza start talking, and he convinces her to rebel against her uncle, to finally stand up for herself. So the 2 of them start this quest, this journey. It goes in places that you would never expect it to go. If you like high fantasy stories, if you like combat, definitely try out Graceling. Next, we have Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. This is an older series, and I read it as shortly after it came out, and I loved it. It is so unique. It's super sci-fi kind of. So the main character in this is Tally. And the way this world is set up is everyone is born like we are now, just normal, right? But at the age of 16, everyone gets this surgery, this facial surgery that turns them into this perfect looking specimen, a pretty. So before you get your surgery at 16 and turn into a pretty, you are known as an ugly. So everyone under the age of 16 is referred to as an ugly. And Tally is about to turn 16, and she is so looking forward to the surgery to make her perfect. She is so looking forward to being a pretty, because not only do you become pretty, but more doors open for you. There's more opportunities. It's just a better life to be a pretty. Shay, her best friend, is also about to become a pretty, but she thinks there's something wrong. She does not want to be a pretty, and she runs away. Now Tally is confused. Why would her best friend run from the situation that everyone in the society begs for? And the government approaches Tally and says, you have to go find Shay, and if you don't find her, you are not going to become a pretty. So now Tally is in a predicament here, and she has to find her friend and convince her to become a pretty. And in that process, she finds out that maybe being a pretty is not as wonderful as everyone says it is. Uglies. Then I have a realistic fiction romance book. This is called Until Friday Night by Abbi Glines. Super read-alike if you enjoyed the TV show Friday Night Lights or the movie Friday Night Lights. If you're a Jenny Han fan, definitely check out Friday Night Lights. Not Friday Night Lights, Until Friday Night. Get it right, Laura. So this is about 2 characters. Weston, who is the quarterback, whatever. He's amazing. Everyone loves him. Most popular kid in school. He's got a great life. And then Maggie. Each of them has a secret. Weston, his dad, is actively dying of cancer and has been for 2 years. and no one knows. He keeps it a secret. No one at school knows. None of his friends know. So he's carrying this giant burden around with him and pretending it's not happening, and it's slowly killing him. Maggie has just moved into this town in Alabama because she witnessed her father murder her mother. And she now no longer speaks. She does not talk at all. She's done. So the two of them connect. Weston really finds that he can talk to Maggie and tell her all of his secrets because she's not going to say anything to anyone. So the two of them start connecting. And as you can imagine, that connection grows and blooms until Friday night. Then we have a zombie book. I love zombie books and zombie shows. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead, check this out, Rot and Ruin. This is the first book in a series. There's at least 4 books, and then there's a spin-off series. So Rot and Ruin is about Benny. Benny is 15. And what's unique about this book is it takes place 15 years after the zombie apocalypse. Benny was only a baby when it first started. So his whole life has been living in the zombie apocalypse. He doesn't remember or know anything about pre-zombie world. And so society has rebuilt since 15 years ago. There's towns, they're completely encased in fences and walls, and they're just living their life with zombies, right? And in this world, when you turn 15, you need to get a job. There's less humans, there's less people, so we need to build the workforce earlier. So when you turn 15, you are now expected to go into the workforce. Benny's older brother is something called a zombie bounty hunter. Weird, right? So what people do now in this post-apocalyptic world, they find bounty hunters and request them to go out into the wild beyond the walls and kill zombies, people that they knew and loved from their previous life, and have them be laid to rest. So they're not no longer wandering around aimlessly, but be put to rest so they can be buried and mourned accurately, right? So that's what Benny's brother does. When Benny turns 15, he reluctantly agrees to become a bounty hunter in training with his brother. Benny has not been outside of the walls very often, so he starts doing this with his brother and learning how to kill zombies. He thinks it's just going to be this like, I'm killing zombies left and right, blah, 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 very violent, and it is not that at all. And he starts discovering new things about the world that he thought he understood. It's such a unique perspective on the traditional zombie story, and it just keeps it's so creative. It's so creative. There are way new things that you would never think about that Jonathan Maberry, the author here, really addresses. Rot and Ruin. And I saved my favorite for last. I love this book so much. It is called Ashfall by Mike Mullin. It's the first in a trilogy. So this takes place in the Midwest. Let me set it up for you first, right? So Yellowstone has a supervolcano. This is accurate. It is true. There is a supervolcano underneath Yellowstone. And in this story, this supervolcano erupts. And our main character, Alex, actually lives in Iowa, which is quite a distance from Yellowstone. And he is home alone for the weekend because his family is visiting friends in Illinois, just over the border. Well, after this supervolcano erupts, because it is so gigantic, now half of the country is covered in dark ash, and it becomes unbearable. Electricity stops, water stops. This is a survival story at its core. It is everything. If you like reading survival books, Hatchet, if you're a big fan of Hatchet, pick up Ashfall, man. This is the best survival book I have read in a very, very long time. It's based in science. It's based in reality. Mike Mullin did so much research about this supervolcano and what would happen if this ash falls over the country and what that would do to us economically, agriculturally. So Alex now is trying to survive this ash fall. It's everywhere. It's covering everything. And he's alone. So he decides he's going to leave his home in Iowa and try and find his family in Illinois. And it is not an easy process. He ends up teaming up with this girl named Darla, who's on a mission of her own, and the two of them are traveling together. They become traveling partners, and there are so many twists and turns. As with most survival books, sometimes the scariest part is not the environment, is not the elements, but it's other humans. Ashfall. 3 books in the series. So good. All right. Well, hopefully there's something here for you that you enjoyed. If there's not, please come in, talk to me, let me know. I would love to be challenged and find a book that's perfect for you. We have tons of different series in YA, and I am all about finding the best book for you. Come on in, see me or not. I'll see you next time. Bye.